10 years of prison because of prank. Now you have TikTokers getting shot because they're pranking, and you got TikTokers tasting prison sentences. Now let's take a look at it and see what is going on, man. People are doing everything to get popular nowadays. They're doing the most insane, heinous things. So let's check it out.
These teenagers just ruined their lives because of a TikTok prank at their university. Well, what was the prank? Allegedly, they ran into the cafeteria pretending to hold a gun and started yelling threats and commands.
What kind of prank is that? Like, are you fucking stupid? You ran in with a gun. Oh my God.
There's no words for how stupid that is. Like, they straight up did a school prank and then blamed it on a TikTok trend.
That is insane. Dude, I think that the good thing is that they're facing actually punishment. Because like, you can't have kids going around doing this crazy shit, man. You can't blame it on TikTok trend. This is just gonna, what's this world gonna turn into?
I've covered a lot of stupid trends throughout my years of doing this, but that might be the dumbest thing I've covered in a very long time.
Two UConn students allegedly implied they had a gun at a dining hall. Now, UConn says both students were arrested yesterday, saying they were recreating a viral TikTok video. NBC Connecticut's Melissa Cooney joins us live in stores with student reaction and more. Melissa?
That's right, Kevin. Police say the students were arrested on charges of conspiracy to commit a threatening act and a breach of peace. We spoke with other students here on campus, say that this was concerning to experience and to hear about.
Oh boy. Okay, so threatening to act charge, that could be up to 1 year in jail or a fine of $2,000. And the breach of peace could be anything from a couple months in jail all the way up to 5 years in Connecticut. And that is not all the charges, since apparently more have dropped since this was aired.
Disruption in a busy UConn dining hall.
I heard that friends were in there and it was scary for them to know that that could happen. Even though it was fake, it's still nerve-wracking.
This is insane. It's not really funny.
Police say Nathaniel Gez and...
I mean, this shit happens all the time, right? Like, it's shootings like this happen so often. I mean, I feel like we go through a deja vu moment with every single scenario like this, because every single 2 years-ish, some kind of prankster pushes the boundaries a little too far. I remember it's not too long ago, somebody did like I put a bomb in a plane prank. I call out a bomb in a plane prank, like an airport, and nobody, it's just a prank, bro. Nobody would ever look at that and be scared or worried. Like I don't know, like sometimes these pranksters, there's nothing going through their mind. They're just absolutely completely stupid, and they will do any heinous act or crazy act just to get just form of like attention reaction. And the thing is that the world cannot work like that, man. Like, you can't just go into a school and pretend you're gonna do crazy shit. You can't go to a bank and pretend you're gonna do crazy shit, or even like anywhere, to be honest. You can't threaten people like this and assume that, oh, we'll be fine. Once you causes issues to business and civilians' time, you are liable for this.
Han Bao allegedly recorded themselves yelling commands in the dining hall and implying they had a firearm. The situation caused a stir, many taking to social media to share their concerns.
Why is it upside down?
Police say the two were reenacting a viral video. Some students say they have no idea what they were recreating.
What viral video?
I haven't heard of any trends like that.
Others have seen the supposed original video, but still find the situation concerning.
I think it was a little misunderstood, but again, I'm not condoning the behavior or anything. I think doing that in a crowded dining hall with hundreds of students eating is pretty much a pretty bad idea.
Yeah, that is a terrible idea. Like, no matter how you look at that, there's no question about it. That was a terrible idea. I don't know what the upside of this prank would be. Like, you know, considering the real thing they're imitating here is every student's worst nightmare. This one just has me baffled. Like, this is just... and this is some peak stupidity that's going on here.
We live in a time of zero tolerance for any kind of violence in schools or on campuses. So, unfortunately, they don't stop to think about these things.
William Carbo.
He said it right there. They don't stop to think. You know what? I think that's majority of the people now on the internet. They never stop to think for a moment. It's me running into the cafeteria, pretending I'm gonna go a little bit like wild with a gun. Is that a bad idea? Is that a dumb thing to do? I don't know. That's gonna be funny.
Bone is the director of the University of New Haven's Youth Justice Institute. He says people recreating videos and faux threats are becoming increasingly more common due to social media. He says this is a good time for parents to talk with their young adults about differentiating what they think is funny and the consequences that could come from what they say is a misunderstanding.
It's shocking you have to say these things. Like, anything that has to do with an active shooter anywhere is not something you mess around with. That is quite literally how you die. All it takes is a bunch of people to misunderstand your prank, which happened right here, and a hero can take you out. Or
if you lie about having a gun, everybody there, if you're coming with these threats, everybody there will assume you have one, and anybody there is eligible to like prevent you from doing anything. If you say that, anybody, that even students, even like any worker, police force, they are allowed to shut you down, and that can end up killing you. It's not a good idea. Like, obviously.
You get criminal charges, which is what happened here. This is, oh my goodness. I can't believe how stupid this is.
Doesn't mean that they should be marked for the rest of their life, but at the same time, it has to be taken seriously.
Specifically in a country where it's common. Yeah, you need to understand, like, these students as well, they're like middle school or high schoolers, right? They hear about this all the time, where like these kind of shootings happens often. So they have the fear. They don't want to be in the scenario where, oh my God, it's happening to my school. Oh my God, I might actually get hurt. Like, everybody, if they hear it, they will take it as truth because it happens so often.
Because you never know when they really have some kind of a weapon.
Exactly.
And UConn says they can't share if disciplinary action are being taken against the students, but they do say, generally speaking, when students do something to violate the safety of other students, they could be subject to something like expulsion. Now the two are back in court next week.
What was really the goal here? Was the goal a funny TikTok?
Funny
really?
TikTok.
I get they're both young, and they're definitely at the age of, you know, doing stupid stuff and learning the hard way. For most people, though, that doesn't mean facing several years in jail. And for this prank, they're gonna get what's coming for them, because the details currently are Dan Bao, he's apparently 18 from Vernon, Connecticut. He's been charged with second-degree breach of peace.
Ooh.
First degree, threatening and displaying a firearm, and conspiracy to commit first degree / threatening / displaying a firearm. Then you have Nathaniel over here, Nathaniel David Gez, 18 of Penn Valley, Pennsylvania. So he's out.
Dude, they're 18, man, and they do this bullshit. Like, they're exactly the age where they can be charged for this as well. I mean, if you're 18 and you think this is a good idea, maybe prison is maybe having a little bit of a sentence might help you up.
Out of state. He's been charged with second-degree breach of peace and conspiracy to commit a first-degree / threatening.
I wonder what they were expecting the reaction to be. Everybody laughing and sharing. Oh my God, thank you for making that TikTok. It got 5 billion views.
For displaying a firearm. So threatening / displaying a firearm, that has a mandatory minimum sentence of 1 year in prison and can range all the way up to 10 years.
Damn.
If convicted, obviously. These guys are innocent until proven guilty. But what a stupid thing to do. These guys straight up effed around and ruined their lives with this. So they were arrested a couple weeks ago and have since been released on a $50,000 bond. Bao is accused of being the person who
What? 50,000?
pretended to hold the gun, while Gez recorded all of it. In a written statement, UConn said the federal privacy laws prohibits it from discussing if they face discipline. In quote, though, however...
Why is it always super rich kids that do this shit? Like, I've noticed this. Why is it always like kids that are have very wealthy families that end up doing this shit?
Generally speaking, any students who are believed to have engaged in behavior that causes safety concerns and or disrupts regular operation may face student code of conduct reviews and can be subject for sanctions up to including expulsion. So what are the tuition costs of University of Connecticut? In-state, $21,000. Out of state, $43,000. Imagine paying $43,000 a year, since at least one of them is out of state, to have your kid kicked out because he did an alleged TikTok active shooter prank. I feel so bad for their parents. If their parents weren't paying for their college and they were getting loans for this and then they got expelled, that's on them. Or if they got a scholarship for this and then got expelled. I mean, every single case is just terrible here, but apparently there's some more details to this.
After allegedly reenacting a viral TikTok video in a school cafeteria, witnesses say it looked as if they were pretending that they had a gun and ordered people onto the ground.
No way did they yell everybody on the ground. I'm honestly surprised they didn't get shot or tackled and violently beat up. I guess lucky for them this happened in Connecticut.
Only 10%?
And not in the
Okay.
South. While most campuses have no gun policies, there's likely plenty of people who still risk it for self-defense. And again, all it takes is a hero to misunderstand the situation and they wouldn't be here anymore. What an incredibly stupid thing to do.
Good morning, Keith. And things are much calmer this morning than they were last night. Students that we spoke with describing this as a very realistic looking mock shooting that happened right on the campus in the dining hall.
I heard a lot of yelling. I think some kid had pretended to have a gun in his hand. He was just yelling at the other kid to put his hands up or get down, something along those lines.
You just heard from Luke.
Did he teleport out? What happened?
UConn freshman who is in the dining hall at the time that this all happened. Police saying that this is a viral social media trend where students reenact a shooting inside a crowded school cafeteria. Bohan describes some students, quote, shrugging it off, while others were, quote, frozen in fear.
There is no way this is a new viral trend. I haven't heard of this until now. And
why would this be okay? Okay, listen. We live in a world where people would eat those Tide Pods or whatever they're called. Like, we live in a world where people would eat literal chemicals and put them in their mouth and see how hard they could squeeze it. That would, if it went through your digestive system or you got it in your throat, you would die. You would literally just it would burn all your intestines. So we live in a world where this is so dumb. It's extremely dumb. But there are people out there that are dumb enough to do it, right? But a shooting trend, pretending to do this, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Been covering all TikTok stupidity since 2018. I basically have a PhD in TikTok stupidity. I actually have 1 year. I'm 1 year out. I'm 1 year away from studying this stuff to have a PhD in TikTok stupidity.
Nice.
Watch out. I'll put a plaque behind me. Put one of these, what are these called? The little signs here. PhD in TikTok stupidity here. And the plaque behind there. I'm gonna print one out.
Police say Tan Bao walked into the dining hall and held a cell phone in a two-handed shooter stance and then began yelling at students at their tables. And Nathaniel Gaz was recording it all on his cell phone. He was also yelling aggressively at students. Both of these students have been charged with several crimes, including a felony for threatening. Police are taking this very seriously. They've set bond at $50,000. And these two students are due in court on the 21st. Live in stores this morning, Brittany Taylor, News 8.
Oh man, this generation really is cooked if they thought this was a good idea. Was the prank actually just haha, we didn't have a gun, you got pranked, everybody on the ground. Psych, we don't have a gun.
And everybody's laughing.
For TikTok. What f***ing idiots. So what a great way to just completely ruin your life for basically zero upside. This was definitely way worse than the door-breaching TikTok trend that we covered earlier, where teenagers essentially replaced the ding-dong ditch trend with running up and jump kicking a random person's door.
You know what? We are actually in for a treat with TikTok pranks, aren't we? I felt like pranks were dying. I who gives a shit about pranks anymore? Nobody's doing real pranks, and nobody even gives a shit about it. But we had that door knock trend where teenager would run up at a door and smash the door as hard as they possibly could with their feet and run away. Like, would literally try to break the door and run away instead of just knocking on it. Random people's door. Like, if this is the trend, like if this is the the way TikTok is going, I can see that this can turn out much, much worse. And it's not too far away from where somebody's going to get hurt. And some of these kids are going to get hurt. Like, I don't know. Like, you go into someone's property or you do these kind of fake shit like that, somebody's going to not be that happy about it.
Before running off.
Is he naked? Oh my God. Like, listen to that. Jesus Christ.
You know, great things are really coming out of these TikTok trends. Another trend that's also apparently going viral is there's apparently a Superman trend that schools are warning parents about. I can't play the music in this video for copyright reasons, but they say Superman. So the trend is essentially you do a Superman into people's arms, and kids being kids are not catching each other, leaving people...
They jump and do the Superman and somebody's meant to catch them, but they don't catch them at all, so they fall on the floor and hurt themselves
with injuries because they just Superman and land on the ground on their stomach. There's not a lot of examples about it, but I did see a couple news articles saying that schools are issuing warnings to parents about this. But this is harmless compared to what we just covered over here.
At least the kid is hurting themselves, you know, like they're just falling on the ground compared to like the destroying property and scaring the fuck out of everybody.
So, safe to say, running into a cafeteria, pretending to have a weapon and screaming,
you broke your
everybody
nose
on the ground, can't even be compared with that. Please don't do a stupid trend like this. Don't do any TikTok trends without thoroughly thinking through what you're actually doing here. Put in the
TikTokers, please start thinking. Use your brain.
5 seconds of, are there criminal repercussions if I do this? That'll save you a lot. But YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. And hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe or you might not see me again. But hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, that guy is definitely not thinking. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what kind of fucking trend this is, but these kids... They gotta start using their brain, man. Like, I don't know, like the parents gotta focus a little bit on them. But yeah, you tell me down below, have you seen this trend? I don't think this trend exists. I feel like they just made that up. I think they just made that up and just try to do something stupid and hope to make it something. That's pretty much my ideas. But tell me down below what you think. If you like this video, make sure to click the like button, sub to the channel if you watch more. When you get me live, feel free to come by my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Adley. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.